Hello and welcome back to Cooking with Suzanne. Today we're going to prepare a dish with just a few ingredients. We have some fresh corn that we're going to take off the cob, Yukon Gold potatoes, and the star of the dish are these beautiful scallops. So what you will need is 5 scallops per person if you're going to prepare this as an entree, which I'm going to do here today. So that's the first thing we're going to get started on. What I always put the scallops on paper towel just to make sure that, and I just blot them to make sure that they're nice and dry. And this way here, you're sure to get a really good sear on your scallops. So let's just grab a little piece of parchment paper, and I'm going to set the scallops down on the parchment paper. The dish that we're going to prepare is a little bit of a take on a saltimbocca. If you've ever had veal saltimbocca, it's with prosciutto and sage and veal, but here we're going to use scallops. So I have 5 scallops and I've just put them really nice and close together. And what we're going to do is wrap the scallop. We're going to wrap it with some prosciutto. And what I actually have here, it's from D'Artagnan. It's Jambon de Bayonne, which is a beautiful, it's actually aged 12 months. It's a beautiful French cured ham. But if this is not something that you can get, although D'Artagnan does have a website and you can certainly get it on their website, you could also use prosciutto. You could also use speck. So what we're going to do is you need about 2 slices of prosciutto per person. And I'm just going to grab 1 slice off here so I can show you. Fold the prosciutto in half, like so. And then I just bring it up about 1/3 of the way again. And it'll be just about the height of our scallops here. So here we have our 5 scallops, and you want to just wrap the prosciutto and make sure it's not taller than your scallops, because you really want the scallops to sear nicely in your saute pan. Okay, and you do need 2 slices to be able to wrap it all the way around. So I have another one here ready to go. And now it's completely enclosed. And all you need to do is just take a toothpick. This just ensures that the prosciutto isn't going to go anywhere. Right at both ends, you just want to stick a toothpick in, just so that the prosciutto doesn't go anywhere. And let me give you a good close. I'm going to come around because with the lighting, I think it might be hard for you to see. It's hard to see the scallop, but there's 5 scallops here with the prosciutto going all the way around. And that's all you have to do to get this prepared. So now we're going to make a potato puree or mashed potatoes. And you'll need, for 4 people, you'll need about almost 2 pounds, about 1.5 to 2 pounds of, I use Yukon Gold potatoes. And I already have them cooked and sitting on the stove over some simmering water. But let's talk about the other ingredients that you will need that's going to go in the potato puree that is so delicious. So the first thing is the corn. We're actually going to fold in some cooked corn into the potato. And what you just need, I have 3 ears of corn already off the cob and ready to be cooked, which doesn't take very long. You can either do it in the oven at 400 degrees with some extra virgin olive oil and salt and pepper on a sheet pan like this, or we're going to just quickly do it right on the stove with a little bit of butter. So just take your knife and go halfway down so that your corn doesn't fly all over the place. If you go from the very top, it tends to want to fly all over. And then just turn your ear over and just go down and around the other side. And that's it to taking it off the cob. I have maybe a little bit more than a tablespoon of butter there. And I have it on high at this point, and I'm just going to watch my butter very carefully. As soon as it's melted, that's when you want to put in your corn. As I said, I have 3 ears of corn here. I don't think I'm going to need that last ear. Okay, our butter is melted. Let's get the corn in. This is a good time to season it right away. You can season it with some kosher salt. And a little bit of black pepper. And this looks done. And of course, the best way to know is just to taste it. You can see how lovely it looks. Let's just give it a taste. Yeah, it's great. Really good. This corn's delicious. Okay, so just take it off. We're going to add this to our potatoes. Talk about our other ingredients. I did want to infuse sage into the dish, but not around the scallop. I thought it would be a little too strong for the scallop. So instead, I think it would be nice to make a nice sage butter and just drizzle a little sage butter around the dish. So I have 4 ounces of butter here. We're going to kind of make a little bit of a brown butter. We're going to let it cook and actually start to smell a little bit nutty, and we'll add some sage to the brown butter. So the first thing we want to do is put our 1 stick of butter and here I have some sage, some beautiful sage. Sage has a pretty potent taste, a flavor, so you do need to be careful with it. I have about seven sage leaves here. Just keep an eye on your butter. You want it to cook kind of on the low side. Okay, so I have them, I piled them all up together, and I will just roll it kind of like a cigar, just like what you would do with basil. And then just take your knife and just kind of chiffonade at it. Then we will add this beautiful sage, which smells really nice, to the brown butter. Okay. Now our other ingredients for our potato puree is some fresh chives that I chopped from the garden. I have 1/4 cup of fresh chives here, and I have 3 tablespoons of butter, unsalted butter, and some heavy cream. And these are the ingredients that's going to go into our potato puree. Our butter is foaming. It smells wonderful already. It's getting very close. All right. So let's finish making our potatoes, and then we will work on preparing our scallops, and that our dish will be complete. So I'll grab our potatoes, which these are just mashed, and then we can, there's about 2 pounds here, just a little under 2 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes. I have not seasoned them. I have not done anything to them yet. We're going to put our butter in first, And this is a good time to use a wooden spoon. And now you want to really use a wooden spoon and whip this butter into your potato puree. So let's go ahead and add some. This is 3/4 of a cup, which I don't think we're going to need. You want to add just enough heavy cream to make it nice and creamy. Show you, these are very, very creamy already. They're looking great. So let's add a little bit of pepper. And we'll add some kosher salt to the potatoes. Now let's fold in our corn right into the potatoes. And our beautiful chopped chives. Okay. Fold that. I think I only used about 1/4 of a cup of heavy cream with these potatoes. That's delicious. One last taste. Yep, that's pretty perfect. You want to cover the top with your saran wrap. And we'll put this back on the stove while we sear our scallops. With the scallops, you do want to use high heat. And if you do have a nice non-stick pan, this is a good time to use it. We can take our sage and put it into our butter. Put it back on the heat just to let it warm up a little bit and let the sage kind of infuse in the butter. Okay, our pan is very hot. I'm just going to add some grapeseed oil to the pan. And you do need to coat the bottom of your pan. It's important that you coat the entire bottom of your pan and make sure that your pan is nice and hot. Okay, now we can put in our scallops. I do want to season them very lightly with just a little bit of salt and pepper. Put this on the stove right in the pan. And then I will season the other side now. Now I can raise the heat. And I flipped it over so now I can season the other side. And just make sure you have a little bit of oil that's moving around in the bottom of your pan. You want to make sure you have enough there. Now to the brown butter, I do want, my butter is unsalted, so I'm going to add a little bit of kosher salt to my butter. And then we can also squeeze in just a little bit of lemon juice. And this is just a few microgreens that I still have, and I'm going to season those with a touch of salt and pepper and drizzle a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, and we'll garnish our plate. Let's take a look and see how our scallops are doing. I haven't touched them yet. Take it off the heat and just take a look at the underside, see how they're doing. And hopefully you can see how beautiful they look. There you go. They have a nice, gorgeous color. And now that I have flipped them, there's a little bit of oil still in the pan, but I'm going to actually add a little butter to my saute pan. And I can baste it with a little bit of butter, the scallops. And let's keep an eye on this, the brown butter, make sure that's, oh, the brown butter is delicious, and you can really taste the sage, which is really lovely. Okay, I'm going to just use a spoon and just kind of baste our scallops with a little bit of butter right over the top to just add a little more flavor to them. Say if you have a birthday or an anniversary and you want to stay at home and cook a nice dinner, I think this would be a lovely dinner to serve for a special occasion. And as a matter of fact, Bob and I have an anniversary coming up, so this is perfect. Now the best way to really check to see if your scallops are ready is they should not be completely firm, but also not completely soft. It takes about 1 to 2 minutes per side, and your scallops should be done. I think these are really looking great, and I think they're done. All right, my butter is off, so all of my components are all ready for me to plate my dish. And what do you think would be a wonderful wine to go with this dish? I was talking to Bob this afternoon about it, and he thought that a nice Chardonnay, which he knows is one of my favorite wines, and there's lots of great Chardonnays in the Finger Lakes. So I think you won't go wrong. Okay, let's take our scallops off the heat. Oh yeah, they look gorgeous. Oh, it's just beautiful. All right, here we go. So the first thing that's going to go down on the plate are the potatoes. So that goes right in the center, a good mound. Just remove your toothpicks before you plate it. There we have it. And just put the scallop right on top of your potato puree. There we go. Now I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of lemon juice right into our butter. Just a little bit. There we go. Right around the edge of your potato puree. And you can see the beautiful sage too. You can garnish the top with some fresh microgreens if you happen to have them. All I did was a little bit of olive oil and a little salt and pepper. And some of the chive blossom, and put it right on top. You can even put it down onto your plate, into your butter, around your plate. And I'm going to come around so hopefully you can see it. There you go. Now you can see it a little better. Our beautiful scallop entree with potato puree, fresh corn, and chives. Well, I think this would be a lovely special occasion dinner. So thanks so much. Look forward to seeing you again soon. And don't forget, if you do enjoy these classes, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Cooking with Suzanne Fine Regional Cuisine. Thanks everyone. See you soon. Bye now.